Welcome to the Big Movement Podcast. If you're ready to create results and make huge strides in your business, finances, personal development, and health, then you're in the right place. Pushing past excuses and powering through procrastination can be a challenge alone. Here, you'll get the support, tools, and knowledge you need to get to the level you desire in your business and life. Let's get started with your host, Byron Ingram.
And welcome to another episode of the Big Movement Podcast. And today, we are going to talk about the importance of embracing failure. Failure is one of those things that in life we tend to shy away from. Because you think about as we grow up as children and we become adults, there's this fear that's instilled. Oh, you don't want to fail. Oh, don't try. You might get hurt. So what happens with all these limiting beliefs and expressions? We begin to give up doing the things that could potentially hurt us out of fear. Think about the things that you did as a child where you just embrace it like, oh, this would be fun. Like for me growing up, I'd go and pick up a snake, not even think twice, like, hey, look, this is a snake. But because people created limiting beliefs like, oh, you might get bit. Well, guess what happened? Over time, I might think, I'm not picking up a snake, I might get bit, but there's a time I do it anyways. So look at the children in your world, how they embrace doing things because they do it without fear. And what you have to do is not to do things without fear, but to do it in spite of it. And that's ultimately how we can overcome failure in our lives. And we have to learn to embrace it because failure is ultimately discovering a way that did not lead to the desired result. And that's what we have to do consistently. As I've had conversations throughout the week with people, and there'd be those who would have anxiety, like, I don't want to try because what if it doesn't work? Well, by not trying at all, it's a certainty, it's a guarantee at that point that you're not going to achieve the results that you're looking for. And ultimately, we have to keep trying. We have to do the things to discover what does not work. Because over time, you're going to discover many things you're going to do. There are going to be flops. You see, we live in a world where the only thing that we see are the celebrations of victories. We don't see the long hours where people are trying different things. They're coming up with different ways to create success, where they put out the ad campaigns and they're talking about, here's the one that worked, this one did it for me, this changed my career. They didn't tell you the 25 ads that failed miserably, that didn't generate the result that you're looking for. So to get ahead and to ultimately change the results, to change the things that we're experiencing in life, we have to begin doing a few simple things. First and foremost, what we must begin doing is embracing our outcomes, focusing in on and knowing that it's not going to be a clear and straight path. It's going to be a windy, curvy road that might involve going up and over a mountain or under a sea or whatever you want to call it. But it's not going to be a clear and straight path. There's going to be obstacles. There's going to be things, challenges, and opportunities put in your way that you have to decide, are you going to let that stop you, or are you going to use that as fuel to keep on going? Are you going to push through it to make things happen, or are you going to give up on your dream that you have? And I hope that you choose the latter, to not give up, because you have a gift, you have a talent, you have something of value that people want to know of, and it's your responsibility to get out there. That's that first thing, is to know that outcome. And then you have to embrace falling down. Because just as a child, when they're first learning how to walk, they get back up. They don't fall down the first time like, well, that's it. I didn't do it. I'm staying here. There'd be a lot of people laying down in the world. So you have to keep pushing forward. What does that look like for you? If something doesn't work, it doesn't go right, you don't stop there. You just say to yourself, well, that didn't get me to my outcome. It was a detour. What do I need to do to get back on it? That is the question you have to ask yourself at that point. What do you have to do to get back up and to keep going regardless? And then last but not least, it's overcoming that fear. And some people would say, but you have to be fearless. I would say, that's insanity. Everybody has some type of fear that's there. The difference comes into place. Do you let it control you, or do you control your fear? You have to grab that fear. If it's like a steersman, grab it by the horns and just take control. Because when you're in control, you control the outcome. You control how your body's going to react. You control what is going to happen. Because fear is a state of the body. Do you let it run out of control and then you put yourself in a state of panic, and before you know it, you are no longer concentrating. You're no longer doing what you need to do. Or do you grab it and you say, I understand that you're there, but you're not needed right now. Take a back seat, and you keep on going. That is what you have to do to the fears in your life, because when you take control of it and you put yourself back in the driver's seat, then you decide how you're going to get to your outcome. Would it be comfortable? No. But here's an analogy. Think about when you were first riding a bike and you had your training wheels on. Literally the first time you got on it, were you a little scared that you were going to fall down? And then you did. And then you're like, it happens. But over time, that fear turns to exhilaration where you own it. Even now as an adult, there's times when I get on my bike and I'm riding, I'm like, whoa, that was such a thrill. In the back of my mind, I'm going, there's a truck that was about 2 feet away from you, but that fear, did I let it control me? No, I controlled it. Because when you are in control of your fears, you ultimately control the environment, how you interact with it. And when it comes to achieving your goals, you are able to stay the course and get there, to push through those obstacles that will make some people stop cold in your tracks. And ultimately, that is what you have to do to create the life that you want. Control the fears, knowing your outcome. Do those things, and you're going to achieve the results that you've been desiring most in life. So take a moment, let all these things sink in, and then share this episode on Facebook. Let everybody know how you're going to conquer your fears. Share it on Twitter and do the same thing. Because there's people out there who need to hear this message, and it's going to help them conquer a fear that has been holding them back. Because when you conquer your fears and you control it, guess what happens when it comes to failures? They're no longer deciding your outcome. You're now leveraging failures as a tool to achieve the results that you've been seeking in life. Go out there and make it awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Big Movement Podcast today. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Now that you've surely been inspired to take your entrepreneurial career and business to the next level, you can stop by the website and get more. And if you're ready to boost your business brand, be sure to grab your free report, 7 Easy Steps to Build Your Brand Today.